Hello everybody, welcome to this week's love energy reading for Friday, November 18th. So as always, this reading is separated into two segments. The first segment is going to be for those of you who are married or in established connections. And the second segment is going to be for those of you who are entirely single and looking for love, or if you are in some kind of a situationship. Timestamps for everything will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below, so you can quickly jump from reading to reading as needed. For those of you who are members on my website, international.com. Please don't forget to log into your account to view the extended readings that I do for each zodiac sign. If you would like more information on becoming a member, please check the description box in the comment thread down below. All right, so go ahead and select your segment and I'll see you in just a sec. All right, so this is the first segment. So this is for those of you who are married or in established relationships. So we're doing a pick a card as always. Pile 1, we're using carnelian stone. Pile 2, we're using labradorite. And pile 3, we're using a chrysoprase. So go ahead and take a moment. If you want to feel your way through this, you certainly can. And if not, you can always randomly select a number. That's perfectly, or a pile rather. That's perfectly acceptable as well. Timestamps for everything, as you saw before, is in the description box in the comment thread down below. All right, for those of you who select pile 1 or the carnelian stone, as we did last week, I pulled out two cards. The top one is going to represent your energy and the bottom one is going to represent the other person. Okay, so we start off with the Sun, and for them we have the Page of Cups. Well, this seems to be a really positive union. It seems to be that you're shining, and hopefully you feel that. Hopefully you're feeling good about the way things are going to at least some degree. Hopefully you are feeling creative and inspired and kind of like the world can't really stop you. If you're not feeling that, I'm feeling a lot of really supportive energy coming from your partner, which is fantastic. The Page of Cups is kind of like, well, how can I help? How can I help? How can I be there in any way, shape, or form? This is, like a page. Page would run around and do menial tasks and deliver messages and do whatever, they're kind of people, like the management people, like whatever we want to call them, that they were told, right? They just did what they were told. And they were learning a lot in the process. And I feel like whatever you need your partner to do, they will 100% be willing to do it. In fact, they often think that, they're coming at it from the perspective that it's my duty to do that. So please don't be afraid to ask. And chances are with the Sun energy, you are going to need to delegate a little bit. You're going to need to reach out to other people to really help you so that you can accomplish what you need to get done. So let's go ahead and pull out some other cards or some additional cards for this. I'll pull 2 more cards for you and 2 more cards for your partner. Queen of Coins. 5 of Cups. I feel like you're trying to make up for something right now. Like, well, you're both in a really good position right now. But I do feel like you're trying to make up for something that was lost. Like, for example, maybe in the past you had an opportunity show up for you, and yet for whatever reason you weren't ready at the time, and so you had to let that pass you by. You're kind of making up for that lost time, or you're wanting to make up for that lost time. So you're pushing extra hard. And I think you are so focused right now. You're focused on what's right in front of you, and you're focused on the productivity. You're not worried about the fear and anxiety that may be coming along with that. It's like the more and more you focus on the duties at hand, the more and more productive you become, and the more and more likely you are to see results quickly. So it seems like you're in your own world. You may be working a little bit harder than normal. You may be doing deep dives into your projects. You may be, doing all that you can to start your businesses or to do your things. And it is kind of all about you right now, I think. It is kind of all about you. I'm not saying you're completely ignoring your partner or anything, but it kind of needs to be for your sake. It needs to be because carrying this around, this like regret, it's not going to be good for you, and you know it. And you don't want to. You don't want to carry around regret. And so to make up for it, to kind of speed up the clock a little bit for the time that was missed. It's kind of pedal to the metal right now. And here is now they've got a lot going on too, which is great, but they're still very much here for you. They're doing their own stuff though. And I think for them, generally things are going well with that Chariot card. You may notice that your partner is accelerating in their own way. And that's, maybe that's even part of the motivation. It's like, well, I want to be on that ride with you. I want to make sure that I'm keeping up with you and that I'm doing my part, which may put added emphasis on how important this really is to you. I don't think that your partner is asking you for that, but I think you are kind of putting that on your own shoulders. Something that you feel you need to do for you so that you feel good in the relationship. There's a lot of love, and with the star, there's a lot of unconditional love going on. So they love you, right? There's no question about that. And there's no letting them down. But they also don't want to see you letting yourself down. And so that's probably one of the reasons why they're being so supportive. With the star, there is an element of hope. There's also a quality of limitlessness that I'm feeling. And I know we're not quite there yet, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but I did talk about it on my Instagram and my TikTok today. The fact that Neptune is starting to slow down. He's going to be stationing direct on December 3rd. So that's coming up pretty soon. Okay, basically Neptune is just going really, really, really slow right now. And a lot of the time over the past few months has been going inside of ourselves and understanding the limitlessness of our own human potential. But when he starts going direct, there's going to be an externalization of that limitlessness, meaning opportunities are going to start showing up, the money's going to start showing up, the progress is really going to start to see actualized results. And I think that's where your partner is focused, is on the limitlessness of their own growth, of their own endeavors. So, you're both focused on the same thing. It's just you have each your own tasks or your own projects or whatever, but you are absolutely running parallel. And I think one of the best things to do this week is to rely upon them, because they are willing to help with that page, to do whatever they can. And so if you're not afraid to ask them, they will 100% show up for you. All right, so what is between you? All right, there is this notion of not getting excited prematurely. You're not wanting to celebrate before the eggs hatch, so to speak. You don't want to preemptively or assume. It's like, I think both of you are in this position. It's like, I want to make sure my efforts are paying off before I really celebrate a lot. And I feel that while both of you have a lot of progress, there's a serious tone about it, and you're both kind of doing that. You're both bringing a seriousness to stuff. It's like, we maybe could be celebrating right now, but let's wait until the money's actually in the bank, right? Okay, yeah, maybe the client signed the contract, but they haven't sent me the check yet. Or maybe the promotion is on the table, but the offer and the salary negotiation hasn't finalized yet, right? So it's like, let's just wait and see what happens, which I like, because it's neutral and it's receptive without being pessimistic. I don't see any pessimism coming through for the two of you this week. It's just still staying very present and being day by day and, encouraging one another. And I don't know what else to say. I just think that's a really good place to be. Okay? All right, so again, if you are a member on my website, please be sure to log in to view the extendeds. So I'll put the information down below. And if not, then I will see you guys next week. Have an amazing weekend. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 2, you selected the Labradorite. So let's go ahead and see. Top card is your energy. Bottom card is theirs. So your 6 of Wands. Ooh, I like that you're matching with the number 6 because it indicates that there is some degree of like similar qualities. The number 6 is also connected with the Lovers card in the major arcana, which can indicate a closeness and a togetherness as well. This is a really positive turn. We are entering into Sagittarius season this week. We have Venus and Mercury in Sagittarius. So that kind of brutalness that was Scorpio season is starting to wane. And I think a lot of people are starting to feel it. People are wanting to be more expressive. People are feeling more optimistic, and they're starting to feel ready to see those opportunities open up for themselves in the external world. And I feel like you, with this card of victory and success, generally speaking, are probably feeling pretty good. Maybe you're feeling extra attractive. Maybe you're feeling more confident. Maybe you're feeling really proud of yourself, of something that you're doing aside from the relationship. And your partner may be feeling a little bit more sweet and romantic. Hopefully, I hope that's the case. Feeling a little bit nostalgic even, maybe wanting to take you out on a really nice date or to go do something really fun together. Maybe they're wanting to bond a little bit. Maybe they are wanting to come together in a more intimate kind of way. You know, I know that with Scorpio season, we often say, oh, well, Scorpio, Mars ruled, sex and all, you know, it's like we think that there's all this sex that happens. But really, there can be a lot of sexual obstruction, especially with the South Node there and the eclipses and stuff and Mars going retrograde. It just wasn't the most sexual time for a lot of people. Not everyone, but for a lot of people. And so now that we're coming into Sagittarius, it is kind of starting to warm up that sexuality. And like where maybe there has been a dry spell for some of you, it might be time for you to come together in a more intimate way. So that's really positive. And there's an emotional aspect to it with that 6 of Cups. You know, there's a lot of love, a lot of respect, a lot of kindness and, you know, sweet gestures and stuff like that, which hopefully your partner showers you in that kind of way. Of course, you deserve that. So for you, we have the 9 of Cups. I don't know, there's something, like, I feel like you've done something that's needing to be celebrated. I don't know whether it's work related or just some personal goal that you've hit or some personal marker. Like, I feel that you have reason to celebrate, and your partner hopefully is celebrating you alongside of you. 9 of Cups is a card of wishes coming true and being very open and receptive and, you know, definitely receiving things. There's a lot of abundance and happiness and emotional fulfillment that comes through. There's often like a jolly quality with the 9 of Cups, kind of like a laughing Buddha energy. You know, it's fun, it's light, it's ecstatic, and I know not everyone is feeling, oh, okay, well, Sagittarius season, snap our fingers and everyone feels better. Like, I know it's not that magical, but hopefully you are at least getting a taste of that expansiveness and a taste of that joy. Now, the Tower may signify that like I say, something big has happened or is happening, or you made some kind of a big decision, something worth celebrating. It may change the course of your life. It may change the course of your career and even the relationship as well. We'll see what comes out here. But it may change the course of things. But I don't see it being bad because of that 6 of Wands. It's like something good happened. Something good happened. 7 of Swords. Okay, I'm feeling a little insecurity in your partner, which may be one of the reasons why they're feeling extra lovey-dovey. You know, they really are needing that safety right now. They're needing to feel, and please keep in mind, I know I speak to it in very specific ways, but if this reading flip-flops, that's perfectly fine, okay? But I'm just going to keep talking about it in this way. So your partner is feeling insecure. They're feeling like their mind is kind of getting in their head. They're getting in their head a little bit, and it's not doing them any favors. They really do want and need to feel like you're not going anywhere. Because when something good happens to you, or when your life is progressing, or you're changing in big ways, sometimes people can a lot of times people can pick up on that, and they're like, oh wow, that person I care about a lot is changing, they're evolving, they're becoming a different person, and does that mean that they're going to leave me behind? And I'm almost kind of feeling that this is a really unconscious thing. Of course, they like maybe doing nice things for you and giving you gifts and whatnot, but it's unconsciously a protection thing. They're kind of securing their place in your future a little bit. It's kind of sweet, actually, because it means that, they want to continue to be good enough for you. They want to continue to be someone that you want in your life. Because they know that you could probably leave and have anybody you wanted. They know what a high quality individual you are. And so they're kind of coming on of like, please still love me kind of thing. And I don't know how long lived that's going to be. It's just, they may be feeling the effects of this Neptune stationing direct. Not to mention that Chiron will also be stationing direct throughout December as well. So there's that too, but we'll talk about that next month. Queen of Cups. See, the energy that's kind of connecting the two of you is quite beautiful, definitely loving and nurturing. And the fact that she's kind of directionality, direction-wise, she's looking at you. So there is a lot of energy going from this side to this side. And hopefully you can just receive that, and just receive it and accept it and allow it to come in. Queen of Cups, of course, is life-giving, right? She's ruled by the moon. She's indicative of the zodiac sign of Cancer. She likes to give life, and she promotes life, and she promotes growth, and there's something magical about her too. And I'm kind of feeling like the connection with the Six of Cups here. It's like the Six of Cups and the Nine of Cups with her. For some reason, the cups are really connecting for me. So if you can focus on that more emotional connection between the two of you to establish that emotional security and emotional safety that probably both of you really need. Because whenever this happens, even though you may be feeling really great, there can be a quality of insecurity there as well if it's a place you've never been before, and you may want the familiarity that a relationship brings. So this is beneficial for both sides, so it's just a matter of letting the love flow, letting the love come in, and letting that support happen. Okay? All right, pile 2. Beautiful week. Again, if you are a member on the website, please log in to check out the extended readings that I do for each zodiac sign. It'll be at the top of the blog/members area. I'm going to change the name of it soon. Blog, I realize, is probably not the best name, but it will be at the top of the members area as soon as you log in. Okay? All right. Thank you all so much. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 3, you selected the chrysoprase, so let's go ahead. First card represents your energy. The second card represents theirs. Okay, well, it feels very truthful for the two of you this week. Each of you in your truth, meaning if there's something that needs to be cleared, if there's something that needs to be said or done, or if there's something that needs to be accomplished, it feels like your roles are very clearly defined and your contributions are clearly defined as well. And the Hierophant is very, he's powerful but also stable. And the Ace of Swords can be really sharp. So to me, it's like, well, this is a force to be reckoned with. This is what I would call like a power couple type of thing. But power couples have certain energies to contend with internally. There may not be that really close emotional connection this week, but at least there's going to be like a real knowing that each of you are still in each other's corner, and or that you're each going to fulfill what you promised you were going to fulfill. There does seem to be an element of commitment and promise And let's see what else comes out here, because these are both kind of heavy hitting cards. And the fact that the color gray is so pronounced in these cards tells me that there is some kind of balance, right? The balance between black and white. Obviously, gray is everything in between. And the gray is like, well, there is some kind of unification together, which is good. You feel unified. You feel as though you are operating as some kind of a unit. One person may be taking a greater role of leadership or, intellectual or strategic leadership, while another person will be fulfilling, a lot of the support for that mission, whatever that is. Now, this could be something that your partner has going on at work, or if they're initiating something, or if they've come up with a brilliant idea, and so they may be putting themselves out on a limb a little bit more than you are, but please don't underestimate the power of being in the supportive role. This is not just like a little bit of support. This is like, without this would completely crumble. Okay, this is so critical that you're in that position of support there. Communication is going to be really important, so the expectations are set clearly this week. I'm definitely feeling an element of urgency coming through in this reading. Like something feels urgent. It needs to be taken care of sooner rather than later. All right, 10 of Wands. Yeah, there does seem to be a lot of work involved with this new idea or this leadership or whatever it is. Certainly taking them to a foreign place. So your partner is navigating to a place they've never been before. It is a better place than where they are. So it could be mentally, could be financially, could be spiritually, could be, in terms of a place within a company. Or I'm using that more generically so you can fill in the details as per your situation. But they are going to a place that they've never been before. Is it a burden on their shoulders? Is it somewhat oppressive for them because it's a lot of work and it demands a lot? Are they demanding a lot of themselves? Yes, absolutely. But what's happening is they have gotten tired of complacency. Okay, they've gotten tired with something just being the way it is. And they are determined now more than ever. And you guys, I told you, I've been saying this all year long. Since Aries season, we have this really important fire sign trajectory, okay? When the spring equinox, again, northern hemisphere, all right? When the spring equinox hits in Aries season, we have this trajectory between Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius season. Aries is like the spark. So there's a lot of new seeds and things that are initiated during that time, but they don't really start to get built fully until Leo season. But just because you're building something up does not mean that it is ready for expansion. It is Sagittarius season, which is activated this week, that allows for that expansion to occur. And sometimes that heavy load of responsibility that comes with expansion doesn't hit until now. And I think that's what's going on right here, is that they've gotten themselves into a situation that they've built and they've wanted and they've been asking for. And now is the time for them to really put their money where their mouth is, right? They say they want it. So now they have to make that investment, which they are more than willing to do. But they can really only do it with your help. It's so important that you offer, these positive, I look at a Queen of Wands and she is so passionate and she believes that everybody can do anything they set their mind to. Like she's like kind of a no excuses, no BS type of person. Okay. She just simply is like, look, humans are limitless. There's a limitless potential within a human being. And there's nothing we can't do, especially if we've seen other people do it. If other people can do it, we can do it too. And so she's over here in your corner, I would say kind of a really nice mixture between a coach and a cheerleader. She's kind of like both, like a really positive coach that cheers you on, who loves you, and who just like offers ideas when you need it. You know, even the Page of Wands, there is a quality of availability for assistance here, as long as the partner is willing to delegate properly. The problem with the Ten of Wands is they may feel like they have to do everything themselves, even though the Page of Wands is completely available to take on some of these wands for them. So if there's good communication between the two of you, there could be a little bit of delegation, and that could be put on your shoulders, which you are more than capable of doing. Chances are they'll give you highly manageable things to deal with. And I think when two people are working cohesively and working together like this is what I mean by like a power couple, okay? As long as the internal dynamics are solid and there's not a lot of resentment toward one another, or there's not a lot of jealousy or anything, which I don't sense in this reading at all, then this is a time when two people can get so far in life. And it actually may enhance the likelihood of a deepened commitment if you're not already married, meaning this could be a time when your partner realizes how crucial you are for their success and how much powerful they are because of you, and vice versa. And this is one of the reasons why partnerships can be so great if they're healthy. And so perhaps an engagement could be down the road because of what's going on right now, or perhaps moving in, or a marriage or something like that becomes more likely because it's like, wow, look at what we can do together. Like, I couldn't have done it without you and I know it, kind of thing. So between you, exactly, beautiful. Two of Cups. Between you, there's an equality. There's a balance. There's, again, it really is about like roles and expectations. And when that's set and it's defined and it's clear, then it becomes equal. And there's something incredibly strong and bonded with that type of a union, and you become more unbreakable, and your trust deepens, the loyalty deepens. And some of you may have really needed that. You know, you may really need that after the past few months, which have been very chaotic. If you've been feeling quite disconnected from your partner, this is an opportunity for you to become more connected. All right, so we're going to leave you with that. Amazing reading. Don't forget that if you're a member of my website, to log in to check the feed for the latest video for the extendeds for each zodiac sign. Just want to make sure you don't miss that. And if you want to become a member, you can certainly check the description box in the comment thread down below for more information. And that's it. All right, you guys know I love you. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, this segment is for those of you who are single or who are in complicated relationships or non-committed situations with people. So as always, we have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, we're using a chrysoprase. Pile 2, a carnelian. And pile 3, we're using labradorite. So the timestamps, as you saw before, are in the description box in the comment thread down below. So you can quickly jump to the pile, and I will see you in just a sec. All right, pile number 1, you selected the chrysoprase. So the first card is going to represent your energy, and the second card is going to represent either the other person or the external world in general. All right. So for the Ace of Coins, feels like something good is coming about for you because of something that happened in the past. Now, in a romantic context, this is really positive because it's like, well, maybe all of your manifestations, which we see over here, a lot of your manifestations are starting to actualize. Maybe you're attracting more people, or you are feeling more social and therefore increase the likelihood that you could actually meet somebody. Maybe you have secured a date or two, right? Maybe you are online. And actually, I don't mind. There are certain times of year when I'm like, stay offline. I don't mind being online right now. With Jupiter being in Pisces, Saturn now going direct in Aquarius, the only thing is that Mars retrograde that I'm still kind of like, it's kind of just a really tough transit to like attract new people. But with Venus being in a fire sign, she kind of has this spontaneity. So it's like, just go out and have fun and go play and it's going to be fine. Like whatever it is, it's going to be fine. And because I do feel like the magic of what you've set forward energetically or metaphysically or through your manifestations or your asks, whatever it is, things are starting to stir up. Okay, the energy that may have felt quite stagnant throughout that Saturn retrograde, it is simply not stagnant anymore. Throughout December, we're going to have Neptune and Chiron go direct. And the energy is going to continue to shift through January, February, and March. All right. So it's just been a weird few months, right? But it is starting to turn around. And for those of you who are looking for love or who are looking for new possibilities in love, like if you're tiring out, and I think Venus in Sagittarius gets really, really, really tired of like the situationship thing. Like it's just kind of, it gets boring, it gets tired, we get fed up. It's like, well, if we want a commitment, then we want a commitment. If we don't, then we got to get out, because this whole like middle ground, 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing just is not going to fly. All right, there needs to be some clarity, I think, with Venus in Sagittarius. So let's take a look here. What else do you need to know? So yeah, I mean, you're clearly looking for the ultimate happiness. And if someone that you're thinking about and like they're not thinking about you, it's time to move on 100%. That 10 of Cups, it doesn't want to compromise. See, exactly. I mean, if this is you, it's like the best or nothing. It's really healthy and committed and communicative and balanced and respectful, or not. And it's just as clear as that. I mean, there's no in between. I really don't think pile one, you have the capacity to operate mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically in any way in something that is an in-between thing. And when you're out there dating and meeting new people, you're going to know right away whether or not this is someone that's going to really make you happy or not. If someone brings you peace and calm and serenity, but there's also a physical attraction, But if someone kind of stirs you up or triggers your nervous system, walk away. Like when you know, plain and simple. You don't have to play that game with yourself. I think it's time to really start listening to that intuition. See, because in the environment, there is a King of Coins with an Empress. This is a beautiful connection. It's actually one of my favorite connections, even more so than a Queen of Coins for a king, because I feel like there's a lot of energy that he feels he needs to live up to for this Empress. And I think that goes in the right direction. Now, some people identify a little bit more toward masculine or toward feminine. Wherever you are on the spectrum, it doesn't matter. All I can say is that the masculine wants to give to the feminine here, which is kind of the balanced order where the feminine needs to receive and the masculine needs to give. So there's something really great here. And if you have had challenges with that, like if in your past if you identify more on the feminine side, and in the past, because of childhood wounding or whatever, you were always needing to give, and you felt like that was how your worth was established, this is going to flip that whole script. And you're going to start to realize that the feminine softness and the feminine receptivity and the genteel nature of the Empress is actually where the power is. Now, if you identify more as this, then you're going to be putting in that giving energy, which will also be very healthy. So either way, this is operating in the way that it is supposed to operate energetically. Okay. Nine of Coins. Wow. Your environment is looking very abundant right now. Please do not settle for scraps. Please do not settle for scraps. That is one thing that will just absolutely kill me if I see people like just accepting whatever just because they don't want to be alone. You know, not only will now this may be something that's like, this is what you've been asking for, the Magician. I mean, it really is. This is the reason why you haven't settled down, because you were waiting for this to come along. Like, the fact that this is showing up in the cards tells me that it is a lot closer than you realize. Will it happen this week? I don't know, but it might. It might, and it may happen in the months to come. It may happen when Pluto and Saturn change signs next March. All eyes on March. Remember, I say that every week. All eyes on March. A lot happening in March through Pisces and Aries season. But this is what you've been asking for, and this is what the universe is linking you up with. This is the reason why you did all that self-work and that healing. This is the reason why you're focusing on your finances and your spiritual and mental health, and why you're working out. Like, this is why. Because you're wanting something powerful and potent and beautiful and long-lasting. And a King of Coins can absolutely give you a long-lasting relationship. All right, well, this is what's connecting you. See how random that card is? Like, it does not fit in this reading at all. The worry that it doesn't exist. I'm telling you right now, it exists 100%. Just because you cannot see it, your eyes are covered, right? Just because you cannot see it does not mean it is not there. I was watching a Feel Good. I don't know if you guys follow Feel Good on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But I know that he just recently, the past couple days, he posted something that was like applying here. Basically, we live in two worlds. We have our physical world, which we can see and touch and we can perceive things. And then we have the mental or the vibrational world, right? And the vibrational world is just as real as what we perceive with our senses. We just don't always believe that because we can't see it. All right, so this is a case of you don't believe this because you can't see it, because your senses are very limiting. It's like we can see the spectrum of the rainbow of light, but we know that there's like an infinite spectrum of light, and we can only see this one little sliver. And that's kind of what's happening. You can't perceive this because you can't see it, but it is very, very, very real. So relax. Relax and just allow it to be, and don't worry about when or how or what do I need to do to get it. That's all the wrong energy. That's kind of like creating a wall between you and the thing. It's like you already have it vibrationally. You already have it in the vibrational world. So it's only a matter of time before it funnels into the physical. All right? But beautiful reading. Don't forget that if you are a member on my site, to log in to check out the extendeds that I do for every zodiac sign each week. So that will be posted at the top of the feed. If you have any issues, just let me know and I'll address them as soon as I can. All right? Thank you so much. You know I love you. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 2, you selected the carnelian stone. So top card represents you. This represents the environment. Okay, you know what? I can tell. Like this week, the cards are so different because the past several weeks, it's been a little bit cold, or there's been some harsh messages coming out. It hasn't been the most romantic, but I'm telling you, the minute Venus came into Sagittarius, I felt like that romantic energy really started to melt, right? Because in Scorpio, she's in her detriment. So it's a very challenging place for her to be. It's all changed. It's kind of like your hearts are starting to melt. It's starting to open up. You seem to be so open. It's like, universe, bring me what you got. I'm ready to receive it, and you may actually be attracting, random people. like, can I share personal? I don't always like to project my personal stuff into these readings, but like lately, after a whole year of feeling terrible and looking really ugly because I never do my hair or my makeup and I wear sweats basically all the time, started like getting dressed up recently because I'm feeling better. And all of a sudden I'm getting all this attention. It's the weirdest thing because I haven't gotten attention in a long time. And it's like, maybe that's you too, right? You're starting to like feel better. You're starting to open your heart. You're starting to enjoy and embrace life. You're starting to feel that gratitude and that appreciation on a daily basis. And now here's like a big group of people around you, you know? And if you're in kind of a weird black and white, hot and cold situation, not black and white, I meant hot and cold, a situation with someone, it doesn't really make sense and you don't really know where you stand, chances are, it's like if you start getting attention from other people, or you start like feeling attracted to other people, like if you're standing in line like at the coffee shop or something and you see an attractive person and you're like, ooh, like I wouldn't mind getting to know that person. It's like you're starting to let go of that unhealthy attachment to someone and starting to open yourself up to the possibilities that something may exist outside of that. It's a great place to be because the more open you are, the more likely the universe is to send you something. I do feel that those hot and cold connections or trauma bonded connections or codependent things, they're really starting to drift away. For a lot of people. People are starting to get really annoyed with themselves for continuing to put up with that kind of stuff. Venus in Sagittarius does not like to deal with that kind of stuff at all. You know, like you're just like, It's like, I want love. Sagittarius wants love. It wants fire and heat and passion and adventure and excitement. It thinks of love as an adventure, you know? Getting to know someone, one of the greatest adventures that we have on this earth. So you are ready for a commitment, justice. And honestly, I like the Knight of Swords for you, not gonna lie. Sometimes he can be like my least favorite. Other times he can be my most favorite. I'm really liking him in this context. He's giving me a good feeling because it's like there's a speed factor. It's possible that your life may be starting to speed up a little bit after an extended period of like suspension or just nothing happening, okay? I know that really since Virgo season especially, it just was kind of a chaotic time. There was a lot going on. There were a lot of planetary retrogrades going on. We had a lot of mercurial energy, which is in and of itself highly chaotic. And things are starting to line up now. The path seems to be a lot more clear. And you're like, heck yes, let's freaking go. And chances are you have some goals in mind that are not related to a relationship. Financial goals, career goals, home improvement goals. I don't care what it is. But chances are you have something in mind and you're like, you know what? That's where I want to put my attention. And you do. Like you're open. Your heart is completely available for the love of your life to walk in and you would say, yes, 100%, let's do this. But you're not sitting around waiting for it. You're making stuff happen. And I love the fact that this Justice card as like the governor of the laws of the universe here. It's here to like take that law of vibration, that law of gender, the law of polarity, the law of rhythm, right? All the Kabbalion laws. It's here to take those and ensure that they are in fact enforced. Because this is your vibration, it's here to say, well, the external world is going to have to reflect that because that's how it works, right? It has to reflect what you're putting out there. It's a lot easier to hold this vibration if you're not desperately looking at it, right? Like, where is it? The more desperation you bring to it, the more of like the opposite effect you're going to have. So the fact that you are chasing your goals, making things happen, you're traveling, you're shopping, you're doing makeovers, you're doing lots of really great things for yourself. The fact that you're doing that makes this so much more plausible. So what else is going on out there in the external world? What else is going on out there? King of Swords. Well, I like the King of Swords actually. To a degree. Okay, actually, I like the King of Cups a little bit more. I like the King of Swords to a degree. I like it if you're totally single, okay? If you are dealing with someone, I don't like this. Because when the King of Swords comes out, he can be, to a degree, not always, he can be a little bit of a red flag because he doesn't have that emotional availability that a lot of other people have. This is someone that you need to be really, really clear with, right? Like if you want to relate, this is kind of, to me, it's actually very Libra Aquarius. I know this is the Aquarius card, but I throw Libra in there too because Saturn is their exalted planet, okay? And I don't mean that this person has to be an Aquarius or a Libra. They don't have to have that sun placement, but that's kind of the energy that they put off. He's good with commitment and good with loyalty, but first and foremost, it takes him a very long time to get there, to get to that place. This person is really comfortable. It's kind of like Big in Sex and the City. Remember in like one of the seasons where Carrie says, "I love you." And they were like talking about, and then there was like this issue with the stuff, like keeping her hair dryer and stuff. And then he brought it back to her apartment. He's like, "You left all your stuff here." And she's like, "Can I please just keep a few things at your house?" That's kind of like a King of Swords. He's just happy with her having her place and her world and her life and him having his. And then when they're together, they can just be together and that's it. And it's not more complicated than that. This is someone who's really okay with that and could live a lifetime like that and think nothing of it and be totally loyal and monogamous, and they would be happy. Okay? That does not fit for everybody. But a King of Cups is much more emotionally connected. So again, if you're dealing with someone like that, this is good because it's like, but there could be someone else out there. Okay, there could be someone else with whom you could connect with on a more emotional level that could provide that emotional security that maybe you need. We all need emotional security to some degree. It just depends on how much and what that means for you. Some people, yes, you want to be with them every day. You want to see them every day. You want to live with them. You want to marry them. You want to have babies and buy homes with them and build a life together. Other people might be okay with none of those things and be okay with what this guy's got to offer. Okay, it just depends on where you're at on the spectrum. But if you need more, it's in your realm. It's in your energetic realm. Now, you may be attracting a little bit of both because you're just kind of in this whirlwind. When you're kind of this tornado, it can suck up pretty much anything. So you have to be really discerning about what it is that you choose. If you go on a few dates with someone and you're picking up this quality and you're like, it doesn't really vibe, then just don't invest in it. Just let it go. Break up with the person, tell them you're not interested, whatever. It's okay. There are more options out there for you. It's going to be up to you. You're going to have to be the one to decide, because chances are both of these people could develop a relationship with you. This one will likely move faster than this one, although they can be both pretty well paced, meaning they're not going to just like give you all their power and fall madly in love with you on date number one in some weird, creepy love bombing kind of way. They're composed, they're self-aware, they're contained, they have a sense of self-respect. So they're not going to do that, neither one of them. But it's just what they're offering is very different. And what they're offering, you get to choose, which is good. All right, so what's connecting you? Last but not least, what is connecting you? Pile 2. Does seem to be a little defensiveness. Actually, no, I don't really know that I see defensiveness. That's kind of a normal word that I use for the card, but I actually feel like this is something where you definitely are putting off a fighting spirit. Like you're willing to fight, and you kind of want the other person to fight as well. If you're going to fight for them, you want them to fight for you. You are wanting equality in that way. This one is more, I'm just going to tell you right now, this one's way more likely to fight for you. This one is like, I'm not going to fight. We either choose to be together or not. And if you don't choose me, then I'm not going to choose you. And like plain and simple, like this one's not going to fight, but this one will. And this is why I'm kind of leaning more toward a King of Cups. Again, you have multiple options. It may not be just two people, and this may not happen all at the same time. This may be in the next couple of months, and this may be next year sometime, but this is what's going on in the more metaphysical realm of your life. So whoever's going to put up the fight, because you're willing to put up the fight as well, you're willing to make the changes and to make the accommodations and the compromises that are needed to incorporate someone else into your life. So you want someone who's going to match that energy. So pay attention to that, because you can pick up on that very quickly in a dating scenario. You can pick up on that in like the first, second, third date. You can know whether or not you're on the same page. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Pile 2. I love you. Have a great weekend. And don't forget that if you are a member on my site, to please log in and check out the extended readings that I do for each zodiac sign. And if you want a little bit more information, please check out the description box in the comment thread down below as well. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 3, you selected the Labradorite. So the first card is yours, and the second card is the environment. Okay, now the Fool I love because it's so open and ready and available and ready for the next adventure. It's really like, you know what, world, bring it on. My heart is going to accept. I accept the good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful, the blessings, like everything. Like it's just, let's just go. Let's just do this. I think you're so ready for something new. You're ready to get out of that cycle or the norm, whatever that is for you. If you have been in some kind of a dry spell, you're ready for that to be over. I think Saturn in Aquarius has just been a really cold transit. And it does aspect Leo by opposition, which, of course, Leo is the sign of romance. And it's not, it just brings like an icy quality to everything. And so people are ready for the springtime to come. We're ready for the winter to start to melt. I'm using that metaphorically, and we're ready to start to bloom and blossom and to really believe in love again. And in the environment, we have the Hanged Man. Now, if you're dealing with someone you're not really committed to, but like kind of, they're still in this annoying place. Like, I don't think that they're changing. So you have to decide whether you're going to hang out with them or not. Chances are this Venus in Sagittarius, it's going to end a lot of those weird connections that are not fully committed. And it's like one person wants something more than the other. It's going to either end it completely or it is going to bring it into a committed state, one or the other. People are just getting tired of being in that limbo. And the Fool is like, let's do something about this. I'm not just going to like sit here and let this be the case. I want to do something about it. And if it means I have to cut myself down off the tree, then that's what I will do. Anything to get out of this situation. And it's not desperate. It's rooted in self-love and respect. See, Queen of Swords, she's not messing around, She's going to be direct. If you need to communicate someone to, like Mercury, even though it's in detriment in Sagittarius, the good thing about it is that it is really direct. For the sake of your peace of mind, for the sake of at least knowing, like when you're out there dating, if you're totally single, you're dating, you're meeting people. And this is not to scare people off of like, it's that fine line between going on that first date and being like, okay, well, if you can't offer me marriage and babies and, an expense account, and if you can't offer me all these things, then this isn't going to work. It's a fine line between doing that and someone asking you, so what are you really looking for? And you saying, I really want a committed relationship. I want someone with whom I can build a life with, when the context is right. and without being aggressive and bossy and also sounding desperate. So I think the Queen of Swords is in that perfect sweet spot. So you can be direct and honest with people about what you want and what you're looking for, and a little bit of what your demands are too. You know, you can set the standard easily, and you can decide, you know, if that person honors the standards, maybe there's a future, and if they can't, then there's not. And it's either on this side or it's on this side. There's no in between here. Because the more direct and clear and communicative you can be, the more at rest you can be, because then you're not wasting your time. And I know people nowadays are not wanting to waste their time. Pluto in Capricorn, especially with that Venus eclipsing the sun, you know, it just was like a really strange, dark shadow twin flame. Again, I don't really like to use that word a lot, but you guys know what I mean. It was like that. It was like the era of karmic toxic relationship. I'm not saying everyone went through it, but a lot of people did. I know I did. Actually, everyone I know went through at least one, sometimes two or three. Everyone's done. Everyone is like, I'm over it. It's a healthy relationship or it's nothing. And in the environment, Knight of Coins. What else is going on over here? Okay. I think right now, you are really looking at what people are doing for themselves. It's one of your maybe, you know, relationship criteria. Looking at them and say, what do they do for themselves? Is their house taken care of? Now, it doesn't matter whether they're doing it themselves or if they hire someone, right? Is their laundry clean? I know that's like super low bar, but it's like you would be, maybe you wouldn't be surprised. I know I'm surprised every time I see like a grown man who's like 45 or 50 who's like, refrigerator is still really gross. It's like, are you serious? Like, how can you not either clean it yourself or have someone clean it for you? And you're just going to live with that? Like, what? So it's like, what can they do for themselves? Is their money in order? Are their lives improving? Are they taking care of their health? There are certain criteria. And you seem to be like really, really paying attention to that a lot. And what are they doing? And how is it that they are going about making things happen? Are they delusionally optimistic about something, or are they putting their money where their mouth is, making the investment and working their butt off to ensure that they're getting it done? Right? Because it's like the more industrious these people can be, the more likely you are to really respect them, because what they create, they truly earned, and they went through that whole process to make it happen. They learned a lot and they've grown a lot, and so there's a depth of character. Seems like you are really looking for that depth of character big time. A Knight of Coins may struggle a little bit with like fully committing to a relationship right now. But I think it's because there may be a feeling of inadequacy. So if you're dealing with, a kind of hot and cold thing, they may be dealing with inadequacy because they are wanting to improve their station in life. Hopefully they're figuring it out. If not, you may need to leave them to their own devices, because I don't know that there's a lot that you can do to help them. If you are dating and you come across people like this, I think it's a good sign, although I don't necessarily know that these are the people that are ready to give you what you say you want, but I think they are a good synchronicity or a sign that your vibration and the fact that you're setting new standards out there means, because like when we set new standards and we actually start to really enforce them, there's a whole new frequency that kind of needs to stretch out to the cosmos, and the world needs to like adjust, and it takes time for that adjustment to occur. We have the Hanged Man. So it takes time for that adjustment to occur. However, if you are coming in contact with industrious people, hardworking, salt of the earth type of people, it does mean that the setting of the standard is working, because you're not attracting bums or mooches or people who just cannot get their life together. You're not attracting abusive people, narcissistic people. That's not this. And if that's what has been your past, this is an indication that turn, like you've officially turned the corner. Is this like the one? Probably not. Because I don't know that they can fully invest into something because they're really trying to get their life together. But I don't know, maybe in the future, but just take it as a sign. That's all you need to do. Just take it as a sign. Take it as a compliment for you, as a job well done for communicating your needs effectively and actually demanding that of the world. There does seem to be a quality of work. There may still need to be a little bit of work done on your end as well. Familiarizing yourself with a new way of being can be hard, because there can be a temptation to go back. Because this is not the most chemistry, which I think, again, a lot of people are over. It's like, I'm over the spike in chemicals in my body. Like, I'm over the chemistry. And while I think that's important to a degree, and we do need to have at least that physical attraction, it's not what we're basing everything around. And so the Eight of Coins suggests there's still work to be done, and you are also making your own life happen as well. You have your own goals that you are hoping to accomplish. This is not just about romance. This is about every aspect of life. So there's work for you to be done as well. And when you are deep in work mode, I always call this the card of being in the zone, because it kind of reminds me of those times when you are up late at night and you're working, and it's like time does not even exist. So when you're in the zone, you're opening yourself up to even improvements even on this. So the familiarization process is underway. It's getting higher and higher and higher, and the likelihood of you attracting something really great is getting more and more and more likely. Okay? All right, you guys. So if you are a member on my website, please do not forget to log in to view the latest video, which is the extended for each zodiac sign for the love energy this week. It will be at the top of the feed as soon as you log in. If you have any issues logging in, please shoot me an email and I'll be more than happy to help. All right. Thank you so much. I love you. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.